Breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. Transformer Crybabies are upset that there's going to be a new Rodimus Prime in Studio Series 86. Who the fuck is surprised? Okay, basically to sum it up before we get to the video, Hasbro just, I don't even say Hasbro, it was leaks. And you know my thought about leaks when it comes to Transformers. They're not leaks, they're tactical promotions. It's basically the way to build up hype for a product that's going to be coming out in the near future. Anyway, so basically we're getting a supposedly new Rodimus Prime figure in Studio Series 86, and of course people just can't be happy. People just can't be happy. They have to be all upset because apparently, you know, they don't like the fact G1 is getting another figure. And I don't want to say it's everybody, it's just a bunch of malcontents that's in the Transformers fandom. And that's basically what it is. It's crybabies doing crybaby things. Okay, let's do this. 3, 2, 1.
Hey everyone, this is UltraRunR. Welcome back to the channel. Today I want to just kind of touch base with you guys on, I guess, the firestorm that this new Rodimus Prime.
It's not a firestorm. It's not a firestorm. It's just a bunch of malcontents that are having a fucking pussy fit because of the fact that once again G1 is getting their time to shine. That's basically all it is. Hate to break it to you, crybabies, but Hasbro as a company, they have to go where the money points them. If the money pointed them at animated, saying, you know, and if the money was basically saying, hey, animated is, you know, doing good, they'd be making animated based figures. If it was fucking Bayverse, they'd be making more Bayverse stuff. It's just that G1 is the most popular. That's where the money is. That's why they do what they do. By the way, congratulations on getting the Studio Series 86 Ultra Magnus. That's an awesome figure.
Is kind of sparking in the community, and I brought out a couple figures here just because I wanted to, you know, while I'm talking to you guys, you know, kind of podcasting that style, just wanted to kind of have something out here for you guys to see, but also use these as reference. So there's been some discourse recently, and I think part of it is what
is that really a discourse? It's people just having they're crybabies. They're goddamn crybabies. Here's the fact. This is why I don't really give a flying fuck what the fandom says, because ultimately at the end of the day, the fandom is just filled with nothing but toxic assholes. Here is the fact. If, let's say, if Transformers Cybertron, let's say that their figures were really, were really pulling in money, then, you know, that's what Hasbro would do. The G1 contingent would be all up in arms also. There's no making anybody happy. You cannot make you can't make everybody happy. You just can't. You're always going to have a camp of fucking pissed off nerds that just are not getting their way, and they're going to sound like a bunch of fucking entitled little shits.
I think part of it is being stated. Some people are frustrated that G1 is getting so much love. Basically, this new Rodimus Prime is going to be a brand new mold, and it's been confirmed by the Hasbro team. And everybody who is non-G1 is basically up in arms. Like, why is G1 getting so much love? It's time for them to go. This is horrible. Won't they stop making G1? They need to focus their time on other lines like Armada or Animated or Cyberworld.
It isn't like Cyberworld. If I remember correctly, Cyberworld had a product line. So even they did Cyberverse. Hell, even in the main line, you know, like there are animated figures. You know, like some of the subsets in the Oh, we had in the Legacy line. We had like animated Prime. I think I have Prime in another room. They are. It isn't that they want representation, which I fucking hate that word. I fucking hate that word. They don't want representation. They just want outright control of whatever the goddamn property is that they tend to white knight for. It be animated, Cybertron, Bayverse, Cyberverse. It doesn't fucking matter. They don't want harmony, I guess you could say. They want control.
Or any of those things like IDW, comics, whatever the case might be. And so I was thinking, okay, I was like, so what's the other alternative? You know, right now G1 is really hot.
G1's always been hot. Yeah, it had its time in the 90s where it kind of died, but after that, it's G1. The reason G1 is so popular is because it pulls at people's memories. When you ask somebody my age that, you know, what is a memory you have of Transformers, you're going to go instantly, you know, reset to the G1 cartoon. For me, one of the things I really remember was that episode where the Autobots have to go back to Cybertron. I think it was to get a piece, like a component for Optimus Prime, and then Megatron ordered the Rainmakers to seed the clouds and made like acid rain, and the fucking Autobots were having their little pussy fit because that they're getting hit with acid rain. We can't do anything. Oh my god! You know, like. That's what that's what I remember because I'm that old. G1 elicits memories. But whereas a lot of people are strongly, you know, just like I'm all just G1 or I'm all Bayverse or animated or whatever, I get figures based if they just look nice. I don't care what property they're from. I get it if they look nice. That's why I have a shit ton of Beast Wars figures. That's why I have animated figures. That's why I have G1 figures. I like them all.
But it's not just hot with Hasbro mainline. It's hot with third party. It's hot with third party masterpieces. It's hot with other companies who are licensed like Blockies and Yellow Park. You know, and so the question is, even Lego with their new square head or big head or whatever they're called. You know, so there's a ton of companies out there that are focusing on G1, and that's not really G1 collectors' fault. You know, I guess you can kind of say it is because
no, it's not. It's not the collector's fault. It's no one's real fault. Like I said, Hasbro goes where the money directs them. If for some reason, if the money literally said, you know, basically a piece of shit, literally a floating piece of shit in the bottom of toilet is what is selling, is what is making money, that's what they would do. They have to go where the money points them. And that's what these crybabies just don't realize. They are literally just screaming into an abyss like a bunch of fucktards that they are. I don't like this. I don't like this. Give me this. Give me that. They get what they want, and then it literally bankrupts the company because nobody, except for a handful of people, are actually buying the product. Yeah, way to kill the business, you fucktards. And this is also why I don't listen to what collectors or the establishment on YouTube says when it comes to figures, because I would not have half the collection of Transformers that I do have if it was not for the fact that, you know, based on what they say. Hell, I would have missed out on the War for Cybertron series. I think those were the most awesome figures, you know, to get back into as a collector. But if you listen to them, oh, they have battle damage. I don't like that. I don't like that. Why do they have battle damage? Keep in mind, these are the same fucktards that literally says Hasbro never does anything to evolve. And then when Hasbro actually goes, hey, here's an awesome figure. We put a lot of time into this. I don't like this. It has battle damage. I don't like this. They fucking throw a fit about any and everything. And that's why if I listened to what those fucktards actually believed, I would not have this figure here. I would not have this figure here. This is Nexus Prime. I think for all the hate that this figure gets, it's an awesome goddamn figure. Case in point, do not go by what the fandom says, because ultimately they're not looking out for your best interest. They're looking out for their best interest. And if your interest does not align with what their interest is, they could fucking care less about you.
If people are making it and will buying it, but they're not making it because they want to make it. They're making it because some people are going to buy it. You know, like the Super 7 here. This is actually a Magic Square Ultra Magnus that just came out recently. You know, this is a Funko Pop that's been out for a bit. This is my Takara Masterpiece Ultra Magnus here. And I do have the Delta Magnus right there. Yeah. And then you've got the SS86, you know, mini Masterpiece in Ultra Magnus, the Blockies, and just like a third-party non-posable figure, and Dr. Wu here. But the thing is, so you've got so many different variants of the G1 style. Could they have made anything else? Absolutely. But why are they doing G1 and G1 so hard? There's a couple different reasons. One, G1 sells.
That's what I literally just said.
Because, you know, a lot of people who are complaining about G1 or, you know, didn't grow up in the 80s and watch the cartoon live on television or watch the movie live. But those people, their kids actually watch the movie. So somebody like me who has adult children, you know, they actually watch G1 Transformers. Yeah, do they watch, you know, other stuff too? Of course, you know, and they didn't grow up with it as much as far as it being live like I did, but they still like it and appreciate it. You know, the Bayverse, the 2007 movie, was big for, you know, a lot of you guys who were younger. And so I can definitely see why you want representation from your childhood. But to be fair, this is not the time for that. You know, and you know, I know there's a lot of YouTubers out there who are, you know, kind of happy the fact that they're not giving love to anything else. But for me, I think everybody should give.
I care less, you know, which product line gets the attention, as long as they release good figures and it visually appeals to what I like. It's like that thing when it comes to art. You can't explain it, you just know it when you see it.
What they want, but at the end of the day, these companies are companies, and their job is to be
profitable,
dedicated to your shareholders.
Profitable. Let's just be honest. You know, stop pussyfooting around it. Just say they have to be profitable. Do you think that Hasbro would be making toys for anybody if it was not profitable? No, they wouldn't. They would move on to whatever the next big seller is. Video games. Hell, even for example, let's say Funko Pop, you know, competitor or whatever. These idiots, they actually think that, you know, that they actually have a voice. They don't. They don't. They can scream that they want a certain, you know, product line, animated, Cybertron, Cyberverse, Cyberworld, you know, whatever. But ultimately, at the end of the day, the company's going to go where the money points them. You may not like the truth. It's still the truth.
And if you make something that you know is going to sell, you're fulfilling your actual legal obligation to your shareholders, because your job as a company is to do the best thing you possibly can for your shareholders, not for your customers. Now, of course, you have to make great product for your customers to buy it. And if they do that, then you make your shareholders happy. So there is, you know, a fine line you have to walk. But at the end of the day, G1 is really what sells. And I think the hard thing for me and to understand with this whole Rodimus Prime being a new mold, and, you know,
keep in mind, these assholes are screaming about why is Rodimus Prime getting another figure. Did they just totally overlook the fact that Bayverse is getting that I think it's like one of the first ever studio series product line that they're getting the first ever Titan class figure this year, next year, whatever it is. It's a Bay vs. Grimlock. Oh yeah, but G1, they get all the attention, right? Cry babies. Cry more.
Oh, that's terrible. Did you guys not forget who this guy here is? This is, let me pull him on here. This is DSS86. Oh, come on, focus. Ultra Magnus. If you have not played with this guy, he is absolutely stellar. Front to back, no issues at all. This, and I have the Masterpiece, which I think this one actually looks better than the Masterpiece. I do have the Fan Toys version, but right now he's actually being custom painted. So, but this is stellar, like hands down, no question at all. So, Takara, Hasbro took a Takara mold and basically.
I like the light piping. That's not, he did not install LEDs into that head sculpt of Ultra Magnus. That's just light piping. I fucking love good light piping.
Downsized it, you know, and that light piping is showing up super cool right now. It's kind of nice. But they took a Masterpiece figure, downsized it, fixed some of the issues. Yes, he's got wide shoulders, but honestly, I like my Ultra Magnus kind of broad. That's just what it is. I think it looks cool that way. But at the end of the day, you've got a great figure that was because Hasbro decided to make a completely new mold. Ooh, got a little bit of a collision here. Now, why is that a problem? Well, the problem is because somebody else wants that to be something for Armada or something.
Like I said, they basically want, they want it a certain way. You cannot make a fandom happy, and that's why I don't fucking go by what they say. Because if I literally base my collection off of what some fucktard on Facebook or Reddit or Twitch or not Twitch, Twitter, if I base my collection off of what they said, my collection would be like only 3 figures. Sad but true. It'd only be like 3 figures, and it'd most likely be the shittiest figures out there. Probably like two weaponizers and let's say Junkion from Legacy Evolution, or whatever.
For Energon. And I mean, let's be real, they're running out of G1 stuff. I mean, we're getting G1 stuff left and right. So I'm sure the listings, I don't really pay attention to the league listings because I don't think it's that big a deal. I mean, a confirmation is a little different about what something's going to look like. And we know Rodimus is coming eventually because they're going to do the whole 86 line. And I think the goal is to have it done by the end of 2027. So they're going to run out of G1 movie figures pretty quickly. So this is not like this is a 2030 or 2032 kind of thing. This is 2027. And then at that point, they're going to decide, okay, where do we go from here? This is when you're going to start seeing probably things like from Armada really start to pick up, things from Animated. IDW is probably going to start popping up. I'd love them to go to like Prime. I think Transformers Prime is, besides G1, is my absolute favorite. I adored it. And I like the movies and things like that. I'm not a huge Bayverse fan, but I did enjoy them. It's not like I went there and was like, oh, get me out of here. But at the end of the day,
when it comes to the Prime figures, I have some of the Prime figures from Legacy. I love those figures. I didn't have a chance to get the Transformer Prime figures from back in the day. It was during a time I was no longer collecting Transformers. Michael Bayverse stuff, I'm just not a fan of, the movies. I watch them and I'm like, oh god, it's just not for me, to be honest. It's not for me, but I love Prime. Prime is actually pretty good.
Hey, G1 is really where my bread and butter is, and that's all I really collect. I do have some more Cybertron stuff but let's be real, that stuff was just basically G1 with a little more detail. But for the most part, I only collect G1. Doesn't mean I don't like other Transformers lines or Transformers figures. That's just not what I collect. I mean, I collect a ton of Hot Toys. Got one right here on my desk. Got some right there. Just because I like Star Wars and I don't have a Han Solo.
Oh God, this poor guy. He's still a Star Wars holdout. Oh, I feel sorry for this guy. Holy shit. After the raping that Disney has done to Star Wars, this guy is still holding out. This guy is a true OG, I guess you could say.
Well, it doesn't mean I don't like Star Wars. It just means I don't like Han Solo enough to have a figure, a $304 figure of him. You know, and the other thing I want to talk to you through was the mega complaint is about mainline, but like I started off the video talking about, what about all the other companies that make Transformers? How many blockies do you see that are not G1? Oh, wait.
You know what I think would be fucking hilarious? I think it would be hilarious if after the studio series, Hasbro finally releases the final 86 figure, whatever it is. They release that final figure just to piss off the fandom, which I hope that they honestly would, because then I can get more content out of watching crybabies melt down. That Hasbro actually goes, okay, guys, we're gonna do Studio Series version 86 version 2. It's going to be minute changes to each and every one of the Studio Series figures from the cartoon movie. We're going to be doing that all over again, and this is going to be like on a 10-year roadmap. Oh, I would love to see the fandom lose their fucking mind for that. Hell, let's see here. Here's a figure that I in between takes. Here's a figure that I actually that I got recently, and it's also another polarizing figure. I got Star Eagle. That's right. People are in two camps about this, and apparently both camps don't like this figure. Number one, because it doesn't have an eagle head. It doesn't have an eagle head. So what? It doesn't have a fucking eagle head. And number two, because apparently they're claiming that this is propaganda for the United States. Cry babies. Cry more. Cry more. I fucking love it, because ultimately at the end of the day, I'm going to get content from it.
Okay, like basically none. Okay. And how many Masterpiece figures from Takara, which no longer makes that anymore, so you have now MPG. How many MPG figures have they released that are not G1? I'll wait again. So
it's literally just like I said, it's just people screaming for attention because they're not getting what they want. I swear to fucking Christ that this generation is so goddamn entitled. It's not even hilarious. It's fucking sad that they can't be happy that some people in this embracing all loving fandom is actually getting their heart's desire. No. If they can't be happy, then they're just gonna shit on everybody else.
As a G1 fan, I'm a Transformers fan from the start.
Well, I would hope you're a Transformers fan. Look at all the shit you have.
Got the Transformers movie poster right there on my wall. And right here, I have, let me get a little closer here. That is the original 1986 comic book. The first issue, which had, of course, my boy on it, Ultra Magnus. So, I'm a little bit more than a Transformers fan. But at the end of the day, most G1ers are. And so that's really kind of how this is playing out. And it's really weird because...
Well, yeah, I'd hope that you're a Transformers fan if you're buying the product. Otherwise, why are you spending hundreds, if not thousands of dollars on something you're not a fan of? Duh.
About to get into a spot, and when I say we as Transformers collectors, where the figures are being made are getting better and better.
And that's why I say I would just fucking... it would be hilarious. It would be goddamn hilarious if at the next, oh god, what's it called? Like PulseCon? Is it PulseCon? I can't recall whatever it is. I haven't seen any of them in a while. It's where Hasbro does like a YouTube video, and they basically release, like previews, you know. Haven't seen one of those in quite a while. Are they still doing those? Anyway. It'd be fucking hilarious if they literally just do, hey, we're going to do Studio Series all over, Studio Series 86 all over again, version 2. This time around, every figure is going to have open, you know, hands that can open up. This is going to be a 10-year roadmap. Sorry, guys. Sorry if you're a fan of anime. Sorry if you're a fan of Beast Machines. Wait, are there really fans of Beast Machines? Anyway, that's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen. I would love to see the just a meltdown. I'd fucking love to see it. I'd fucking love to see it because, like I said, ultimately at the end of the day, these crybabies are giving me content.
Now, are they cutting corners on some stuff? Yes. But if you're a G1 collector and you're concerned about Rodimus Prime not being a good looking figure,
that's an awesome looking figure. I think Studio Series 86 is the best Ultra Magnus that I personally have. I have 3 Ultra Magnuses. I have, oh, actually make it 4. I have the, I think it's the one from Combiner Wars. It's either Combiner Wars or Titan's Return. I have that one. It's okay. It's okay. I have the one from Siege. When I got the one from Siege, I got it from Siege when it first released. I thought that was going to be the best ever Ultra Magnus because that's like only the second Ultra Magnus I had. I have Kingdom Ultra Magnus, and then I got Studio Series 86 Ultra Magnus. So basically, my collection of Ultra Magnus figures are kind of low, but I appreciate everything I have.
yes, Astro Train is kind of a mess. Nobody's going to the new SS86 Astro Train. Nobody's going to even remotely say this guy is exactly what we're looking for. But remember what started off this line that made everybody just blown away? It was Hot Rod. And Hot Rod was a mini masterpiece. Look at the Dinobots. The Dinobots were not a miss. Ultra Magnus, brand new from the ground up. You know, essentially, because even some of his transformation, even though a lot of it is compression style like the masterpiece here, it's not the exact same thing. Insanely good, incredible piece, absolutely worth every penny. And remember, this guy was going for like $225, $250 on the aftermarket because he sold out so quick and people couldn't get their hands on him. And now, you know, I think he's more readily available, but I don't think there's a ton of them out there. But in the day, you know, the more we do other figures, the better opportunity is for the newer stuff that's going to come out down the road to just be even better. So honestly, people who are waiting on Prime and Armada and Animated and IDW and all those guys are going to be eating good because all the kinks are being worked out here. Because you think you're going to make another mistake like Astro Train again? Probably not. But honestly, you can't fault them for one. They thought this would be a good idea, and you look at what they've done with everything else. Like I said again, Optimus Prime, Megatron, that new Megatron, which is a tank that looks just like his animation accurate version. Like, how can you just knock that at all? I mean, how do you?
To go back to what this guy's talked about, how you know, fans of the other product lines are going to be eating good after Studio Series 86 has run its course. They better fucking buy everything that Hasbro, you know, puts out. They better fucking buy it because you know what's going to happen. You know what's going to happen. I know what's going to happen. It doesn't take a fucktard to realize what's going to happen. These crybabies are going to be screaming that they want, you know, Prime, they want Animated, they want Cybertron, they want whatever the fuck, you know. They're going to get it. Hasbro will dedicate an entire like trilogy of product lines to a specific IP. Those figures will not sell. Hasbro will see this and they're going to instantly default right back to G1. And it'll be decades before another IP or product line or whatever you want to call it gets their day in the sun. So the people who are literally screaming for representation, they better buy those fucking figures. Because if they don't, they'll basically be slitting the throat of what they want, because they won't be getting it for another 10 to 20 years.
Look at something like this and go, oh, hey, this is terrible. Why'd they make a new mold? The old one was fine. The old one wasn't fine. Soundwave, he's better, but he's still not great.
I like Soundwave. I have Soundwave. He's actually over there on the shelf. You just can't see him. He's off camera. Megatron and Optimus Prime, they did something with the plastic. It just does not feel right to me. I'm a very tactile type person, and they just feel weird. But Soundwave, he looks pretty good. I cannot wait to actually get my hands on Starscream.
The Seekers, the new Seeker mold, stellar. The cassettes, they've done a good job with. Nothing be super, blown away by. But here,
the one thing that I do have to say that, everybody's probably thinking, oh, I'm a shill for Hasbro. No, I'll call Hasbro out when they do something like regarding QC issues. Hell, some of my figures to date still have massive QC issues. If it isn't that they literally fall apart in my hands like those stupid fucking fossilizers, it's the fact that, pegs will break off, like, say, with, like back in the day with Siege, I think it was Siege Grapple, or was that Earthrise Grapple? Pegs will literally break off. The one issue I have with, another issue I have with Hasbro is, like, say right here, we have, that looks like it is Studio Series 86 Galvatron. You're telling me that we can get a new goddamn Megatron, a new Optimus Prime, a new Soundwave, Thundercracker, Starscream. Soon we'll get a Skywarp. Soon we're also going to be getting a new Rodimus Prime. We cannot get a new Galvatron. We're going to get basically a throw over from the Legacy line. War for Cybertron. Sorry, War for Cybertron line. We're going to get one of those guys. To me, that's lazy. That's fucking lazy. I would have loved to see what an updated Galvatron would look like.
This Hot Rod, I mean, that was really the birth of people just really being impressed with SS86, and the fact that they recolored him and didn't have to re-engineer him at all. Dinobots here, same thing. Mini Masterpiece figures. Some retooling here and there, Cup, Springer, Blur, Perceptor. So some of these were not absolutely like brand new pieces, but the ones that were brand new pieces, and even though people give this Bumblebee a lot of hate.
Oh my god. If I can't recall if that's Sam Wiki or whatever the fucking character's name is, that toy right there. I have that toy. One of the fucking worst toys in the Studio Series line I've ever purchased. He has a gaping hole in the back of his head. Who thought that was an aesthetically good idea? From the front, if you literally put that toy on a shelf facing forward or in a corner facing diagonal, you wouldn't know it. But if you actually pick this figure up and you turn it around, you see a fucking gaping hole in the back of its head. Once again, whose idea at Hasbro was it to do something like that?
I actually like him. I think he's fine. I mean, yeah, could he be better? Yeah, but I mean, he could also be worse. He could be Astro Train. Let's be real.
But I have Astro Train. Hold on, I'll go get him. Hold on, I'll be right back. Okay, so here is Astro Train. He's still in the box. I am not going to shit on this figure yet. Number one, because I don't fucking do what the fandom does. They shitted on this figure before they even got the figure in hand. Number two, I like to actually analyze the figure, get out of the package, see what it's like. If they literally just carried over Astro Train from Siege, they would have fucking thrown a fit. Oh, Hasbro, they're not evolving at all. They're not doing anything to earn our money. They release this Astro Train and they're still fucking not happy. They're not happy. You can't make these regards, I guess you could also call them. You cannot make them happy. You just can't. Whatever happened to literally just buying the product and analyzing it once you get it? It seems like nowadays people just throw a fit without actually buying the product. Like, and the thing is, the people that threw a fit about this figure also bought the figure, and they were throwing a fit before they even bought the figure. So they're hypocrites. They're fucking hypocrites. It'd be one thing if they were like, I bought this figure and it's not a good figure. No, these are assholes who literally, the moment that they saw the pictures, that they were already saying, oh, this is not a good figure, I'm not going to buy it. 3 months later, I bought the figure. I still don't like it, but I bought it. Hypocrite.
SS86 Prime, these guys, you've got Braun and, Wind Charger. So we have a ton of just great examples of when they don't miss. So we shouldn't really give them a hard time about what they're going to do at Rodimus, because I'm pretty confident Rodimus is going to be pretty awesome. And for those who are waiting for G1 to get out of here so you can get to your stuff, that's not going to be long either. I mean, you got just even the leak list, in which I don't like that really unfollow, but a lot of the other YouTubers do. You can see there's few and fewer G1 characters being made, because honestly, just running out of them. I mean, because the SS86 movie really has, when you go to 84, other than repaints, what are you going to do with?
There's still a shit ton of Transformers that, Generation 1 figures that I would love to see, like the Trigger Bots. The Trigger Bots. We don't have any Trigger Bots. We got the Trigger Cons, but where's the Trigger Bots? That's just right there, yeah. For example, there's still a metric shit ton of figures. The Omnibots, for example. There are a lot more G1 figures that were not in the cartoon or the movie itself that I would love to see get their time in the sun also.
Megatron, it's going to be the same Megatron. They're not making a new one for 84 line. So, I mean, my whole point is just make sure that you guys, if you're into this collecting thing, truly into this collecting piece, you can collect what you like. I don't think there's any.
And that's what I'm trying to say. If you like what you like, but you shouldn't shit on everybody because you're just not getting yours yet. Ultimately, if Hasbro deems your product line to be worth the risk of funding, they'll do it. You just gotta be fucking patient, but people want it now. And it just doesn't work like that. They have a roadmap. I wish we could see the roadmap, because I would love to actually know what is coming out, coming in the pipeline for 2027 and beyond. Hell, I would love to get some more Cyberverse figures. I only got a couple of them, but like I said, a lot has changed articulation-wise over the last decade. It's been almost a decade since Cyberverse, right? I would love to see what an updated Shockwave from Cyberverse could look like.
Any issue at all with anybody being a collector, a lover of Transformers, and only a collector of one line, but for those who don't feel that way, hey, that's you, and move on with your life, I guess. But everybody's going to get their time, and hopefully after G1 is done, there'll still be some room for Hasbro to continue make money and do well.
G1 is never going to be done. They would rather reissue and do slight paint touch-ups than kill off G1. G1 is their bread and butter. I'm not saying that other product lines are not, but they're not as profitable as G1. That would literally be the equivalent of Hasbro cutting off their head. They're not going to do that. They will find some way to release G1 until literally the end of time.
Because G1's got deep pockets, and everybody wants to say, well, Armada sells as well, and Energon as well, and this, that, and so forth. But for the most part,
if they did sell, then why are they not on the shelves right now? Hell, the last animated figure I got, I think it's animated. It's no, it's Prime. Sorry, it's Prime. It's Smokescreen from the Age of the Primes. If these IPs were as profitable as the fandom likes to think they are, they would be the ones that are on the shelf. I would hope that they would be. But ultimately, you have to look at the facts that ultimately, at the end of the day, the reason that Prime, let's just say Prime, the reason that Prime is not on the shelf and G1 is because G1 sells more. Sad but true.
I don't see it. You know, as if it was the case, they would be spending their money or spending their R&D on non G1 stuff. So, but that's just my thoughts on it. Again, hopefully everybody's going to get what they want, and looks like that's going to be the case soon. And you know, remember, we all are collectors together. We're all on the same team. So let's just.
Actually, no, I am not on the same team with these crybabies. Don't try to play that we're one big happy family. We are not. In fact, I don't even associate with anybody in the fandom.
Not sit here and bash each other just because we're not getting what we want. You know, let's get after it. You know, enjoy this collecting while we can. It should be fun. If it's not fun, then you probably should do something else. All right, that's all I had. Thanks for stopping by and hanging out.
Okay, so basically that is that, ladies and gentlemen. It's crybabies. Crybabies are upset, and that's all they're going to be able to do. That they're just upset, and like I said, they are forgetting. They are forgetting that in the Studio Series product line, basically, the Studio Series is getting their first Titan class figure, and it's not G1. It's not G1, but ultimately, the issue is that people they're just upset that whatever IP that they support is not getting the representation that they feel that they should be getting. And it goes back to what I said. Ultimately, if their IP actually sold, if their IP moved products, they would be the ones on the shelf right now. But Hasbro has to go where the money is. If money, it says it's G1, that's where they're going.